Hello, it's Phil, Newton, England. I am back with, yes, another Crystal Maze video. It's been a while since my last videos, but not as long as the break before that. The reason for this break is I've been doing my bedroom up. Yes, this is my main bedroom, and as you can probably tell by the colour and the decor, very posh word, I'm doing it as the medieval zone at last. Grey colours, started off with a very dark base colour on the walls. It's almost black, and then I did 2 coats of this lighter grey, and it looks really nice. It looks like stone, like the medieval castle itself. Obviously a picture as well of Mumsey, the Maureen Lipman version, and just off camera up there is a Tudor pole, both sat in the medieval zone. Still got various work to do. I've got some curtains to put up like a tapestry, flag over there above the bed, and 2 torches with candles and the climbing ivy. So I've still got a lot to do. I'm waiting for all that to arrive. But in the meantime, there's also something else that needs to go up on the walls, and you've probably seen the thumbnail, you've read the description, so you know exactly what they are. And it's these. These are actual set pieces from the medieval zone, the reboot series, series 1 and 2 with Richard Ayoade. There were various ones of these made by a company called Armadillo. Rod and Lewis Vass, with the help of Tony Salmon, made quite a few of these gargoyles. Now, before I go any further, technically they're grotesques. Now, I only learnt this the other week. There's a difference between gargoyles and grotesques. Gargoyles were built for a purpose. They collect the rainwater, and then the water comes out of its mouth away from the buildings to stop stone damage. So they're gargoyles. Grotesques are just very similar sort of grotesque creatures, but they don't really serve any purpose. They're just for fancy, for show. So technically these are really grotesques. So there you go. I know somebody will probably pick me up on that if I keep calling them gargoyles, but we know them as gargoyles, but technically, as I said, they're more like grotesques. So anyway, I've got 3. I've bought 2 of this, 2 big ones like this and a smaller one. The 2 bigger ones I bought from Matthew at the movie Reliquary. Thank you very much for that. And I'm going to give you a quick showdown. I'll show you the other one very shortly. Now, these are made from polyurethane foam. I think I pronounced that correctly. And I said it's done by a company called Armadillo, by Rod and Lewis Vass, with a bit of help from Tony Salmon. Check out their website. There's some really great pictures. They've done lots of stuff for Doctor Who, loads of other TV shows and films, pictures from the Crystal Maze as well. So check that out. I'll put a link or a description in the comments below. But yeah, definitely check that out. So there you go, the polyurethane foam sprayed grey. Obviously this was a while ago, so there's a slight bit of damage. You can see where the orange of the foam's coming through a bit here and there, but I've got some paint like this. I'm going to touch it up later. So that's one anyway. I'll just show you the sides. And the top's like a shelf, and the bottom there. And then the back, which isn't very exciting, that's all the foam. So you can see it's like moulded or carved, I don't know exactly, but that is going to actually go up there. I'm going to fix that up there very shortly. So it's going to look good. I've got one up here. The other big one is going in that corner, which you can't really see. And then the smaller one is going over there because I've got the door there. And these are too big to fit above the door, so I'm going to put the shorter one above the door. So they are very nice, as you can see. So these appeared in the medieval zone, series 1 and 2. Obviously it was disbanded for series 3. Now we knew, because we went to test the games for series 2 and 3, the producers actually contacted us and said, we've got rid of one of the zones, we've got a new zone for series 3. It wouldn't tell us what zone it was, and it wouldn't tell us which zone had been taken away. But when we went to these studios to test the sets, test the games, I saw this big metal cage, and it had all the majority of the medieval props in it. It had the candelabras, candlesticks, things like that, some of the walls. And I said to Neil, Neil, look, it's the medieval zone. They've got rid of the medieval zone. I was like, oh my goodness. So obviously when we got there, we found out that Eastern Zone was the new one. So anyway, yeah, I've got 2 of these. That's the second one. Again, the model is the same. I think they're from the same mould. I've got the gargoyle. Gargoyle, there's sort of sad face, legs, belly. It's got wings here coming out either side. Then it's got a sort of podium thing there. and they're quite thick sides. They are quite light actually. I mean, there's a fair bit of weight, but they're not that heavy. They're not as heavy as they look. Obviously, they're meant to look like stone. These are the holes where the bolts were. One each side there and one up there as well. So that was bolted to the ceiling and the wall. I don't want to do that because it's my house and I don't want to do a lot of damage to the walls. But I'm gonna find other ways to fix them up. So there you go. Again, I'll just show you the top as well, like a little shelf. And then the third one I have is slightly smaller, and I'll tell you a little bit more about this one in a minute. Smaller one again, it's got the top shelf. It's got a slightly different gargoyle. This time its hands are in its mouth, sort of looking a bit scared, and there's a reason for that. Again, there's no wings on this. Oh, there is wings, sorry. There is wings, but they're retracted, is that the right word? They're not fanned out, they're retracted. And he's got no legs, poor little soul, but he can still fly anyway. So that is the third grotesque stroke gargoyle. Now, it took me a while to sort of look for them in the show. Once I got these, I looked through the episodes, and I actually found, I can't remember there's two outside at the main entrance when you first enter the medieval zone. There's various ones inside, but these, there were actually smaller ones. There were actually 4 of these, and I found out where these were. Now, you know the little plank that you walk across to get into the medieval zone, the vignettes, if you like, or the zone crossover points. These are in there. There's 2 on either end of the plank, like that. 2 of these small ones. Technically, there's 4 of these smaller ones in total. So that's where this has come from. That's one of those. Them again, they could be anywhere. I think these are probably from the front door, to be honest. Have a look, check it out, and see what you think. Again, just on the back, polyurethane foam, sort of hollowed out to make it a bit less heavier. So there you go. A quick rundown. I've done size guides. I'm not going to bother because there's that many different angles to these. The bigger one's a 23 inch in height, and the smaller one is 18 inches in height. Just looking at, yeah. So there you go. Again, as I said, these were from the movie Reliquary from Matthew. Thank you very much for these. And the smaller one was from Neil. He'd gone down to the set, as you know, I've explained in all the previous videos. Neil went down to the set. He was able to take some of the props and set design. And that's what Neil got. And I've finally got it for my medieval zone. They will be up very shortly, hopefully, when I've got the time. And I've got to work out how to put them up. I've got ideas, but hopefully they won't fall down in the middle of the night. So there you go. 3 grotesques stroke gargoyles from the medieval zone of the Crystal Maze. So until next time, goodbye.